welcome to my channel. Today I'm very excited to be reading you a new Drarry fanfiction called Hold My Hand. I just read the description. I have never read this before and I'm really excited. So let's just get into it. Chapter 1, Drought of Connection. Harry saw it a split second before Malfoy. Their cauldron was going to explode. Him and Malfoy both reached out to grab the beetle wings and... Ugh! 10 minutes earlier. Snape's cold, black eyes swept the classroom. Today, we will be making a Drought of Connection. Does anybody know what that is? Hermione's hand shot up in the air. Snape pointedly ignored it. Anyone? Hermione huffed and stood on her desk. Miss Granger! She glared at him. It is 8th year, my last year, and I've gone through a lot scarier things than you, so I suggest you shut your trap and let me continue. Snape's jaw dropped. The Drought of Connection is a potion similar to a love potion. However, unlike a love potion, a Drought of Connection only works if the people involved have chemistry. It will only connect their souls in a temporary process that causes them to be helplessly in love with each other for 24 hours. It is often used to find out someone has a crush on them. She glared at Snape and sat down in her chair. Snape's mouth worked for a moment, before he nodded. Indeed, Miss Granger. Thank you. You will be brewing a diluted 10-minute version of this, and testing it on your partners. The ingredients and steps are on the board. If your cauldron looks ready to explode, add beetle wings and continue with the potion. Begin. Harry got up and grabbed the ingredients, and came back, dumping them on his and Malfoy's shared desk. Malfoy said nothing, only started chopping the dragon scales. They chopped and poured for about 5 minutes, and then it happened. Harry saw it a split second before Malfoy. Their cauldron was going to explode. Him and Malfoy both reached out to grab the beetle wings, and... Ugh! The two boys looked down in horror at their hands. The entire class stared at them. Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter were glued together by their holding hands. Chapter 2, Holding Hands. Snape stood up quickly and rushed over to the two boys. Potter, he barked. Did you add the bat wings before stirring? Harry was rather distracted by the fact that his hand was freaking glued to bloody Malfoy. Yeah, I guess. Malfoy put his head in his one good hand. Shit. Snape huffed. Get down to the hospital wing, both of you, now. They left silently. As they walked down the halls in silence, questions piled up in Harry's head until, finally, he got up the courage to ask one. Malfoy, what did I do to us? He held up their conjoined hands. Like this. Malfoy seemed surprised he had accepted that it was his fault, and that he had phrased the question so civilly. Surprising Harry, he actually answered. Adding the bat wings before stirring changed the whole recipe. It set off the delicate balance between newt eyes and salmon scale, causing the explosion. Being before stirring it, it changed the recipe, so as far as I can guess, instead of bonding souls, it bonded... Here he also held up their conjoined hands. Something physical. As in our hands, when we both reached for the beetle wings. Since the potion was made for a romantic connection, it did the best it could with two hands. It connected them as if two lovers were holding hands. Harry nodded. The explanation made enough sense, except... Malfoy, the potion was made for people with chemistry, but we obviously don't. We hate each other, so why did it work? Malfoy seemed surprised at the logically stated question. He actually seemed to think it over. The best explanation I have is that either we have a chemistry we don't know about yet. Here Harry and Malfoy both rolled their eyes. or it was just because we hadn't finished yet. They had reached the hospital wing. Malfoy used his hands, since he was the one with the right hand, to open the door. Madame Pomfrey glanced up at them. "Oh dear, you two haven't been in another fight, have—" Here she broke off, and after a moment, both boys realised why. She was staring at their conjoined hands. "I didn't know— Well, at least you aren't fighting anymore. But then, why are you—" "Madame Pomfrey," Harry interrupted, a feat most students wouldn't dare to. "There was a potion accident, and mine and Malfoy's hands were glued together." Malfoy quickly went over what he'd told Harry on the walk over. Madame Pomfrey listened sympathetically and nodded when he was finished. However, when she opened her mouth to comment, the doors to the infirmary opened to reveal Snape, McGonagall, and Dumbledore. Snape growled low. "Well, Mr. Potter, it appears that when you added— Draco already explained this to me, Professor." Snape looked surprised. "Did he?" "Well," he started to leave, but stopped and turned. "One more thing, gentlemen. While our potion was supposed to last 10 minutes, the explosion prolonged it." Harry felt Malfoy stiffen. "How much longer?" Snape looked irritated. "Instead of being 10 minutes, it will be 10 weeks." "What?" Harry and Malfoy both shouted. "I can't stay with him for 10 weeks, Harry protested. "There is no way I can tolerate being around him for that long," Malfoy cried at the same time. Dumbledore held up his hand. "You'll be given your own room, so as to reduce fighting about when you will sleep. You're expected to figure out where you will eat and how you spend your free time. Your classes will be changed to accommodate. You're both also excused from said classes for a week. To adjust." Professor McGonagall looked at them sternly. "Come now, I will take you to your room." Chapter 3. Obstacles. Day 1. McGonagall had left them in their room nearly an hour ago, and neither Harry nor Malfoy had moved from the edge of the bed where they both sat. Harry supposed the room they were given was nice enough. Cream walls and a dark blue rug. A single bed with dark blue covers that reminded Harry of his predicament was in the middle of the room. A cream nightstand was on either side, one for each boy. Against one wall is a long desk with 2 blue dark chairs, and 2 cream dressers. A dark blue chess table sat next to the desk. The joined bathroom had a shower, a toilet, and a sink. The boys' luggage was on the bed, sitting behind them. Harry sighed, breaking their frigid silence. "Can we put away our stuff?" Malfoy stared and came out of whatever daydream he was in, probably involving being very, very far away from Harry. Yeah, I guess." They both stood and grabbed their suitcases. They set them on their dressers. Harry reached out with his left hand, attempting to open his suitcase, but only succeeded in pulling it towards him. He jerked it harder. Still nothing. "Oh, for fuck's sake!" he shouted, and momentarily forgetting his company. Malfoy glanced over, looking amused. "Problems, Potter?" Harry growled at him. "Shut up, Malfoy." Malfoy rolled his eyes at him. "You're a wizard. Use your wand." Harry sighed. "My wand," he pointed at his suitcase, "is in there." Malfoy seemed to realise he was also in this predicament, because he promptly punched his suitcase. "Shit." Harry sighed. "Will you hold down my suitcase for me?" Malfoy seemed confused, but did as Harry asked. Harry tugged the zip on his suitcase, and Malfoy held it in place. He unzipped it and pulled out his wand. He flicked it at Draco's suitcase, and it opened. Malfoy looked surprised. Thanks." Harry shrugged. "I don't want you to have a tantrum. I hear every rich kid does." Malfoy smirked. "Well, I hear you're loaded, Potter, and I haven't seen you throw a tantrum once." Harry grinned. Well, you didn't see me when I had to break into Gringotts. He raised his voice to a purty, rich boy voice. But Hermione, there's a dragon. I don't want to get my 100-gallon robes burnt so early this week. Both boys laughed, but then they froze and stared at each other. Did you just make a joke, Potter? Malfoy asked slowly. Did you just laugh at my joke? Harry replied, just as slowly. Malfoy shook his head widely. You're not allowed to be funny, Potter. We're not friends, Harry stated. Enemies, Draco agreed. We should be arguing, Harry replied. Draco nodded. They stared at each other. And now we're agreeing, Malfoy shrieked, clutching his face. Okay, that's where I'm going to leave it today. I hope you all liked it. I hope you enjoyed. It was really fun to read, and the next one will be coming out soon. I promise. I don't know when soon is, but it's soon. Bye!